Another wise move by Unrivaled, in my opinion. They announced one of those wild card spots. They've been much discussed. Obviously, the speculation was around them being Caitlin Clark in the past before we knew that Caitlin Clark was not playing in Unrivaled. Now, they have announced one of the players who will fill one of these wild card spots who also won't be playing in Unrivaled, at least not this season, that being Cameron Brink from the Los Angeles Sparks, of course. And Unrivaled makes this announcement and caught some people off guard, I guess, because of Brink's ACL injury. As you can see, she would be joining the Lunar Owls as part of Unrivaled. But it is a multi-year deal. She will not be playing until 2026. So when I saw the speculation about Cam Brink, I started doing the math about the ACL recovery in my head. And I'm thinking to myself, well, it could be like a 9-month recovery nowadays, but she didn't get hurt until June, I don't believe. So it would be too soon for her to play. That is indeed the case. It is too soon for Cameron Brink to suit up for Unrivaled this season. However, with that said, this is another indicator that this is a league thinking about the long term. And why not secure the services of an up-and-coming star in the WNBA who also has an appeal beyond just the basketball? Cameron Brink, certain look, clearly, and has been popular as a result of that and what she's been able to do on the court, block shots at an incredible rate. So tons of talent. She was the second pick in the WNBA draft for a reason. And now Unrivaled is continuing to tell us through the moves that they're making, they don't plan to be here today and gone tomorrow, right? Like some of their biggest signings. In fact, I would say their biggest signings, aside from the co-owners and Angel Reese, like when you take away Napheesa Collier and Brianna Stewart and Angel Reese, the biggest, highest profile signings that Unrivaled has made are players who won't be playing this season. Paige Beckers, Flau'jae Johnson, and now Cam Brink. So that goes to show you this is a long-term thing. Even Caitlin Clark, in her interview with Time, mentioned that she hasn't ruled out playing next year, and she just needed the time off. And you saw, we've all seen from the reaction to her why she would need the time off. So that really makes sense. And this move, I think, really makes sense for Unrivaled. On top of, they announced more sponsorship deals. They got a beer sponsorship. I think it was Michelob or Miller Lite, one of those companies. Let me get it right. Let me look it up while I'm talking right here, so I appropriately give them the right sponsor, and the sponsor wants their name mentioned. Miller Lite is the beer sponsor for Unrivaled, so that is a part of the deal as well. And you see, they had State Farm. They've got the TV deal with TNT, and they are starting to ink deals for beyond this season. So I think they got to hope that the curiosity factor is there for them this season, that people tune in to go, okay, what is this about? Hey, I haven't had the WNBA has been in a big drought. Let me tune it on and turn it on and see some of my favorite players. And then there's the way that they're going to present the product. They have a real mind towards the television product here, where they're saying, we're going to put this on TV and build it for TV, and that gets people excited if they can frame it right and show you behind the scenes stuff, because people love behind the scenes stuff. It's not really built for a live audience. They're only holding 800. So my point being is, if they can capture some of that curiosity and turn it into consumers and an audience, that holds through the first season maybe could get the boost from that. And then the subsequent seasons can get the boost from increased star power, because I don't think they could just run it back with the same group of players and it necessarily have the same level of interest. But the novelty of it could bring in the interest, and then they add to the interest by adding to the talent and the athlete list, which now includes Cameron Brink. Now, Napheesa Collier, who's one of the co-owners, of course, was also spotted at the Vikings game with her young child, and obviously her husband is also a part of Unrivaled, the president of Unrivaled. So I figured it was just worth showing you that footage because I thought it was kind of precious and adorable. It's nice to see from Fee with the youngster there at the game and the memories and the moments. Here is the video footage that was shared by the Minnesota Lynx account because I think it's almost impossible not to like Napheesa Collier. But here is some of that with Mila, who seems to be having a good time there on the sideline. Her and her mom. So how could you not root for what they're trying to do? That's the other thing. The mission of Unrivaled is a good one. Make it so more of these women can get paid. They don't have to go overseas. And the fans get more. I mean, it's not like it's a disservice to the fans to give them more basketball, right? And that's, I've had people criticize me in the comments like, why are you shilling for Unrivaled? Because I'm genuinely interested and I genuinely like what they've been able to do. Obviously, they are hampered and hindered not having Caitlin Clark, most notably, and then also not having Asia Wilson or Sabrina Ionescu or now Kelsey Plum, who dropped out. But by the way, became the only player to do that. It's not like that started a wave of something. But regardless, yes, I acknowledge that isn't great. And of course, the difference between Clark and everybody else is enormous. But that doesn't mean Unrivaled is DOA, and it doesn't mean I'm not going to watch or tune in, which I'm going to do. And I want to see what they do. And I'm rooting for the league's success. And, as I do with everything, my comments here are genuine in the sense that I do believe they are making smart moves. I do believe Unrivaled is thinking strategically here and planting a flag in a sense to say, all right, we're a part of women's basketball going forward. This is not a circus act. This is not a blip on the radar. This is a new basketball league that is going to be an annual thing. And we're going to have many of the best players in the world, if not all of the best players, if not most of the best players, many of the best players. And they're starting to line them up for the future. Paige, Flaugier, now Cameron Brink, and who will be playing in 2026 and signed a multi-year deal with Unrivaled to be part of the Lunar Owls basketball club, which I think caught some folks by surprise when it was official, given the timeline of her injury. But now we see the timeline of her participation as well.